Hello everyone. In this class and in the coming classes, we are going to look at how to texture map the character like this. Then we are going to look at how to rig the character using cat rig and then skin the character. And then we will look at some animations that can be done using this character. So if you can see, this character is now rigged properly. So the leg is working fine. The knee control. There's the body control here, so you can move the character up and down and then make him look around. Okay, there is one more control which I have hidden, so I will select all the bones and in wireframe. So I need to create some handle for this. You can see that the foot roll is there. Okay, so those are the things that we will be looking at how to create in the coming classes. So let us get started. I will save this one. I'll go to File, Open, and we will go back to our model that we did in the last class. So you should have this if you have followed the tutorials. And we are going to, I'll go to File, Save As. This will be rig video. Alright. So we are going to go to the standard primitives. We will go to helpers, and from standard helpers we will go to cat objects. And if you go to cat parent, there are a lot of default characters that you can start working with. For example, let us look at an alien. Okay, so you just click and drag, and this is your rig. All right, so these are bones which can be moved and animated. So to animate this character, you'll have to go to the motion panel, and then you have to add animation layer, and there are some default animations. So I'll show you one of them, the walk animation. So if you click on add layer and go to the last option, and then you simply have to turn this on, and now you will see that the rig is already being created and walking. Okay, and once you are in this layer, why are there two? Yeah, I don't know why there were two. Oh, I did it twice. You can delete that one, and if you want to create your own animation, you have to select the first option, and now you can turn the auto key on and then move your character I have to turn it on. This has to be green in order to create animation. So you can see now the keys are being created. So we lifted the hand, and then if you want, you can rotate the tail. Okay, anyhow, what we are going to look at is how to set up your own rig. So you can create your own custom rig, and that is what we will be looking at how to do. So the first important thing is that if you click on the move tool, all these have to be 0. Okay, so the character goes below, so what will go to hierarchy. We will also rotate the character so he's facing the front, and then I will use 90 degrees. Okay, So the character is facing in the front. We'll go to affect pivot only and move the pivot down to the foot. Okay, somewhere there. And then we will again make it 0. So the character is on the axis now. Okay, and then you have to make sure that you can mirror your weights and mirror things, uh, so it helps that if you have your character perfectly centered along the axis. Okay, here also you can see that the character is centered along the axis. Now what we will do is go to cat parent and we are going to add none. Okay, and then click and drag it big enough for the character, don't make it too big. And then again we will right click and make sure that it is at 0 0. Okay, so we just created a character, and then we'll just leave it as character 01. If you want to rename, you can rename it as well. Okay, then we'll go to the motion panel, modify panel, and here there's an option to create pelvis. So a pelvis is created. Let me see if I can scale this. It doesn't help. So the pelvis is now not in the right place. So what you can do is select the pelvis, zoom in, we will select this and we will hide the mesh mode. Okay, so you can see the low poly version. And what you can also do is select the character, right click on it and say freeze selection. So the character is frozen, so you cannot select the character by mistake, so you can focus on working on the rig. We need to move this one here. Okay, and what is important when you do any work is to make sure that the center point is at the joint. So this is the place where the character is going to bend. Okay, so the bend is going to happen somewhere here in between the two lines. Okay, so this is where the character hip will bend, this is where the character leg will bend, this is where the knee will bend. So the bend positions are important. This will be our bend ankle, and this will be the area where the toe will bend. Okay, so we have to identify the place where our character is going to get modified, and then we put the bones in that place. So once the pelvis is created, you click on add leg, and leg bones are created, the thigh bone, the calf bone, and then the ankle bone. Now once the leg is created, you have to position the ankle where the character is going to, the toe is going to start. So this is the first step after you create the leg. To position the leg in the right place, you need to make sure that the toe position is fixed first. Okay, once the toe position is fixed, then you need to fix the ankle position. So from the toe to ankle, we need a longer bone here. So you have to stretch this bone longer, and when the bone is stretched longer, the knee bends. Don't worry about it. Then you rotate it. Okay, and then you make it even longer and rotate it up. Okay, so this is a little tricky. So that is where the ankle is going to bend. So I'll place it there, maybe a little smaller. Okay, so that looks good. It should be at an angle, that's fine. And then the bone, This is where the knee is going to bend, so this place here, just place that. So we have our ankle, our toe, our knee, and this is where the leg is going to bend. So in the front view, this needs to be moved in the middle. This can be moved here. Let us see what happens if this is moved down here. Middle. Knee is in the middle here. Then you go to the left view and make sure everything looks right. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so we are only having one bone. We are only working on the left side. And once we do all the setup, we will simply add another leg, and then the same thing will happen on the right side. So you just work on one leg. Alright, so everything looks good. The other thing is also you can change the width. Okay, you can see the length, width and depth, but what I have here looks good. In fact, we will make it even smaller, because what happens is that this bone, if it is big, it will affect this side, and that might happen in this foot area, and then we will look at how the skinning works. But when I created this, I realized that even a smaller size can do a good job, so no need to have big bones. Now this one, this is the leg control. Okay, this one, so we got to make sure that the leg is in the center at the bottom also, so that looks good. All right, now we'll select, we need a toe bone, so we'll select this one, and then number of digits we will say 1. So this is for the toes. So if you have a character with toes, the fingers on the toes, then you may need 3-4 bones, but in the cartoon world, I think most of the times fewer bones does the job. So here we will make sure that we only have 1 bone. Okay, so first you create a digit, and once the digit is created, then you change the number of bones from 2 to 1. Okay, and now the length of that bone should be less. It doesn't really matter if it goes beyond, just say 20. Doesn't matter because there's nothing beyond, but it is better to stay within the dimensions of what we have. And then this can be a little wider, not too wide though, maybe 15 is good. And then the depth can be big also, so maybe 30 for the depth or 20. I think it moves up also, so you just move it up. Okay, let us just say 15 because we can always, okay, we can always do the skinning later on. So we got the toe, we got the foot bone, we got the ankle position right, we got the knee position, and then the hip position. So now once we're done with that, you just click on add leg, and the other leg is added with everything same as the other. I will undo that, and it crashed. Okay, let's save it and see what happens. It's saved at, we will have to find recover file, okay, in the 3ds Max. So I'll get back and then we'll continue with the class.